but I wanted there to be a place where people felt like they could actually get some work done in this hour. Certainly not just listen to me talk. Every time I rewatch these, I'm like, stop talking, cut to the chase. So I really want you guys to hear from each other and be able to come to the table with different topics that you'd like to dig into. So as time progresses, if you guys have things you'd like to hear from specific speakers, I'd like to bring in whatever will serve you best in this amount of time, because I know it's not easy to just sit in front of Zoom for an hour. So I have written down some topics and brainstormed with other affiliate owners of things that could be a good, it kind of like bring in an affiliate owner that really crushes it at X and have them talk about it. We can even have sessions where there's two different owners and we kind of have the first half with one topic, second half with the other topic. So if anyone feels like they are really an expert at any one thing, and I know a lot of us hate to claim that because then all that comes with that. But really more so like you really want to share, you really want to help others and you have something that you'd like to share, come to me and let me know. Let's put it on one of these monthly calls. Also just want to acknowledge that I think we're all still grieving the loss of Lazar. This just happened, and I don't want to act like no time has, or that a bunch of time has passed and we're past it. But I just want to acknowledge that this specific meeting is not one where I have any information to share about regarding the incident, the investigation, CrossFit Games events moving forward. I really have as much information as you all have at this point. So I really respect that everyone is in a different process with grieving and that my door is always open. If you or your trainers want to reach out. I have had some people say that they have had questions from members and they weren't quite sure what to do with that. So please know that I'm happy to have that conversation with you, but that this is not the forum to do it. And we have plans that we're going to talk about here. And so I just didn't want it to seem disrespectful that, this is sometimes a gathering where I have updates on things. That is not an area that I do have any more information. So my door is always open. I'd love to talk to you, but we're gonna stick to our affiliate owner business for this call. Some announcements. I've got the West Coast Affiliate Summit is coming up. Hopefully many or all of you are registering for that. It's for anyone in the country. Don't have to be on the West Coast. We're going to be down in San Diego at CrossFit Invictus, September 14th. I'm writing into September 13th, 14th. All of the content will be on Saturday, the 14th. So if you are local and you can only get away for that day, feel free to just come for Saturday. Friday evening will be an optional early check-in. If you don't want to get up super early Saturday and register, you can register Friday. And then Saturday, all you'll have to do is walk in and get sort of your goodie bag and your seat. On Friday, we'll do the registration and we'll also have an optional workout. So would love to have everyone there at CrossFit Invictus who wants to join in on a group workout. That being said, Saturday will be specifically affiliate owner content and no workout time. I think I am going to sneak in a little bit, get out of your chairs and let's move. But we're talking just really brief, like, get everyone moving and high-fiving and then back into the content, just because that's a long day of sitting still. But don't expect a big workout at the summit. Remember, affiliate owners, you're free for any summit across the US, you're free to attend. If you would like to bring guests, there's no limit on how many guests you bring, but it is $50 per guest that you want to register. So please sign up for the summit. I'd love to see you all there. I'm going to be posting more content of who's going to be there, but we'll have best hour of their day. We'll have HSN. We will have possibly CrossFit Health speaking. We will have CrossFit Education speaking as well. And then who am I forgetting? Push Press. Push Press will also be doing a presentation. A lot of the presentations are being reworked from previous. So hopefully it's new if you came to last year's West Coast Summit. And if you went to another one this year, I want to say at least one of the talks is also being adjusted, maybe multiple. So I'll have more posting on that soon. Last two reminders is if you're not part of the West Coast Owners Facebook group, to definitely join that. If anyone's curious, I can send the link. It's also in all of the newsletters I've most recently sent out. And I also have the YouTube channel where calls like this will get posted. So if you ever want to listen to some of that stuff that you might have missed, check out the YouTube channel. If anyone can't find that stuff, you guys just hit me up and I'll send it to you. Without further ado, the purpose of this call, I want to introduce our two superstar affiliate owners. We've got Chausse and Randy Lauer. They own 346 CrossFit, Grit CrossFit in Gresham, Oregon. And I've got to visit them last year. We did our affiliate summit there in July. I can't believe it's been over a year. That feels like it just happened. That's so weird. And Chausse and Randy have been amazing. They were an amazing host for the summit. Did anyone get to attend that one? Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. I was like, I feel like I saw some of you, but now I'm kind of blending the Pleasanton one and the Gresham one. But yeah, it was incredible getting to see their space, getting to talk with them. And since then we've connected several times, and they've always both expressed not just a passion for what they do, which all of you have clearly. If you don't have passion, you're not going to stay in this business, but also a passion for helping other affiliates. They're not coming in with we know how to do it, this is the only way, but they're coming in with a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, experience, and a love for what they do. And I think they have a really healthy grasp on reality as well. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. They've put in a lot of work to get to where they're at. And I know they know that there's always more work. You're not like, oh, we did the work, so now we're cruising. So I talked with them and said, what would you want to talk about if you could pick anything? Like, what's your superpower as owners? And I wouldn't have guessed, but at the same time, I'm so not surprised that their thought was, what we really feel like we shine at is connecting with members. And I think a lot of us might feel that way too. I actually said goodbye to my clients this morning in the garage, and I was like, I'm really good at connecting with members too. And then I thought, but I just know there's so much that I'm missing. There's so much that I'm not thinking about. And I'm so excited to hear about this. And again, I kind of opened it up, guys, it can be a discussion. So you don't have to feel like you're putting on some sort of PowerPoint presentation. Oh, someone told me that ages you if you say PowerPoint. So now I'm old. But yeah, it's going to be more, as interactive as you both would like. But without further ado, Chausse, Randy, I would love to maybe just kind of kick it off with tell us a brief history of CrossFit in your eyes for your experience. It could be, if the affiliate is kind of day one, how you want to start it off, but just what got us to here, maybe.
So first of all, yeah, my name is Randy, my wife, Chausse. We own 346 Grit CrossFit in Gresham, Oregon. We are about to celebrate our 12th year as an affiliate. Fun fact, this is our 5th generation of our gym. Our first generation was, I just re-signed up and resubmitted all of our business licenses through the state and through the city. So our first generation was August 1st in 2012 as 346 Grit Fitness Center. So we've gone from fitness center, then we affiliated to CrossFit, and then we went through a couple different variations of, when I say rebranding, it's always been 346 Grit CrossFit, but logo variations, color changes, and to where we ended up here. And so this is our 5th generation. So another fun fact is we started dating really a month before we opened the gym. So we started dating. Chausse was my trainer at Crunch Fitness at a Globo gym.
But not really like trainer. He came to my class. I taught a running class, and he was in my running class. So it wasn't like a personal training weirdness thing going on
in the back room. It wasn't like that. But we started dating a month and a half before we opened the gym, before we opened Grit. And I always tell people that our relationship is significantly and intrinsically tied to the success of our business. So if for something happens, the business goes out, listen, we're probably going to get a divorce.
We're just going to high five and go different ways.
High five, write our time on the board, and walk out of the gym.
So are we on version 5.0 of the marriage as well?
5.0, and that, just like the affiliate, is constantly learning, constantly making mistakes, and growing from all of that. I would say that we are no more of an expert in connections than any of you all on the call. And any expertise or wisdom we've gotten is because of all the mistakes and errors we have made over the almost 12 years of doing what we're doing. Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, us starting the gym was a little bit different the way that I started than he started. for doing CrossFit. For me, the very first time that I went to a CrossFit class was in a garage of a friend of my old business partner. And I wasn't sold on it. I was like, cool. Now I got to go back to the gym and do some work. So I was in a very different way of thinking of fitness because of what I had done way before that was group exercises, not sex, not group sex, group exercise. Group exercise in a gym and personal training.
That's also a good one.
I mean, that's a great workout. But anyway, so that's where I got started in that. And it was just a different way of thinking. And so when I did my first class, like I wasn't in the right headspace until I went and got my L1. And when I got my L1, then I never looked back. I was like, I literally can't do this stuff anymore. Like I have to do this. So it was very, I was all in after I did my L1, and it was a different experience for him, starting doing CrossFit and how he felt with that. But it took me a little bit of time to actually go take my L1. We opened the gym in November and I took my L1 in January. So it was a few months, but once I took it, it was like, well, I'm here. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. So
because we loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely something that was important to me. And as through things that have gone through the gym, like it is literally ingrained in me. Like it's not who I am, but it is a big part of me and how I feel, with the way that we interact with our members as well.
Yeah. CrossFit centered.
Yes, definitely. Well, let's see. I have a list of questions myself, but I was going to say maybe starting off with some stuff where you could say where things have gone right. What are some things that, whether from the beginning or you could have just implemented it this year and you're like, this is heading in the right direction in terms of, like the kind of keeping the cohesion between gym members, between gym and staff, between gym and owners. And what are some things that have gone right that you're just like, yes, this is how we are. And it can be, things you've implemented with, practices you've implemented, or you could even like the layout of the gym. I mean, like all different things play a part in this, right? This topic.
Yeah, I would say the layout of the gym was absolutely something we did wrong in the very beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
But like many of you, we started in a small, dark, dirty garage, and we just did the best we could with what we had. It was 2012, CrossFit in 2012. I feel like 2011, 2012 was the big boom where it just expanded exponentially across the country and the world. We were a part of that, and we did the best that we could with the skills that we had at the time. I would say the thing that we did right the most from the beginning, from day one, was, and again, Chausse and her old business partner before I bought out her, but us as coaches as well, we were very people-centric. We understood that at the heart of it, we were a people business. Yes, we are teaching movement. Yes, we are preaching CrossFit. Yes, we are in it for lifelong health and wellness. But at the beginning, the center, and at the end of all of that, we are a very people-forward business and a relationship-building business. I had a conversation last night, an honest conversation last night with someone that's not a member of the gym, just coming in for a separate reason. And he and his wife asked how wonderful we thought it was to be our own boss, our own business owner. And I told him it's great being your own boss, but at the same time, we're not our own boss, because at any moment in time, every one of our members could fire us at the drop of a hat if at any point in time we stop having a people forward business and a people relationship first business. And so I think that's one thing that we've done really well from the beginning, when Chausse had this idea that we started with friends, we started with family, and we grew from there. We didn't know how to grow a business really in the beginning. And so because I feel we started with that, we've been able to keep that same relationship building while teaching people how to move correctly and live a long, healthy life, hopefully. I feel like that's one thing that really solidified our success moving forward, is keeping that people business.
Yeah, I really think that my background, just because I started my fitness journey in 1997, that was a long time ago. um, and I started back in like step aerobics, and it's just like I started in group exercise teaching.
In the
And
1900s?
yeah, in the 1900s, it was a long time ago. Yeah. And so I started there, and that's all that I knew was group exercise. Like it was very like group centric. Like me, I just have a personality of where I'm like a little bit ridiculous and jumping all over the place and yelling and screaming and cheering and doing that. And that was part of Group X. Like that's what you did. And my classes were big and people enjoyed it and have fun. So that just transferred on how I taught CrossFit when we did that. I've learned better to be a better coach instead of just a cheerleader, but that's how it started. It was just like, get in, let's have fun, let's sweat together. We're going to do this together. And then we had parties all the time. There was a party about everything. And I did that with my other, before I started CrossFit, we always had parties all the time, like with the people that would come to my classes. So it was just something that I had been doing for a really long time in a traditional gym that I just transferred over to like, this is just how you do this. This is people enjoy this. My classes were big. So let's just keep doing that. And so that's how we got started. And I think that has just been a huge thing that we've done really well with is keeping that fun, and our coaching has gotten better. So
A lot better.
I will say a lot better, but keeping that in there and just having fun and connecting with our members. And we do a lot of parties. So, and I think that really helps keeping the crew together.
When Chausse says parties, we don't drink. So it's not like,
but like parties can be whatever, like hanging out and eating and, doing fun things. And I mean, even we would like post into our page, like, hey guys, we're going to go see a movie. Who wants to come with us? And we post on there. And then, whoever wanted to come up would come, and we'd hang out, watch a movie together, and see you guys and go on. But we do a lot of stuff like that.
We just got 16 members to go skydiving last month.
Yeah, it was so fun. So I think we've done really well with that.
Yeah, I think you've proven that you can get members to follow you out of a plane, apparently.
I'm designing a t-shirt for our coaches that says, follow me, I'm a cult leader. And then on the back, it'll have our logo. So it's all because we can get people to follow us jumping out of a plane. We can get them to follow us to do anything.
I do feel like I'm pretty good at that, like that little peer pressure of like, you're just going to do it. This is what we're doing. Sign up. Let's go. We're going to go and do it. It's going to be fun. Whether it's like you're jumping out of the plane or you're down on the bottom with me, that is not jumping on the plane. And we're cheering everybody that is jumping and scoring and judging their landings. That's what we did. So it was super fun and everyone loved it. And we're doing it next year. So I don't know. It's just something that I feel like we're really good at, just getting people to do fun things together, and like where it's going to be fun, regardless of whatever it's going to be. We're going to have a good time.
I think to relate it back to something that's a strength for me would be the CrossFit seminars. The level 2 seminar specifically is where we really dive into these different aspects of coaching, right? You guys kept saying like, and then we got really good at coaching, and that's all of us, right? We're all on this journey that we want to keep improving that skill set. If you're not on the floor coaching, then you're hoping your coaches who are improving that skill set. But a big chunk of that is often overlooked is what we term presence and attitude, right? So everyone that sat through the level 2 knows that we coined that. Your presence and attitude is really, to me, everything that you're talking about, Chausse, there with, you want it to be fun. You want it to be a positive, high energy environment. You want it to be a party. You make the class feel so much like a party that there's no question that an actual party that you throw is going to be a blast, because, the 6 a.m. class is a blast. So I think that presence and attitude is something that is going to be unique to each coach and each owner and each facility, and like to try to be Chausse or to try to be your affiliate for another isn't going to work. But to, just the same way we tell trainers at the level 2 to think about what your own personality is and you want to be a bigger version of yourself. So it doesn't mean that everyone needs to be loud or wild and crazy or jumping out of a plane or goofy, silly dress up. That doesn't mean that, but it means to be a bigger version of who you are. And so that to me is a good message for all of us as owners, because I've really only looked at it as trainers, right? As I'm running a level 2, I talk to the trainer. Even if they are an owner, I'm talking to them less as that. But it's the same thing. So as an owner, think about that from your owner shoes. And then also, if you're still coaching, think of it from your coaching shoes. And then when you're working with your coaches who are putting out your product, make sure you're working on that skill with them as well. Right. And when I think about it as the owner, and this is where I'm kind of curious as your guys' input, you're not maybe on the floor coaching the class, but how can you be a bigger version of yourself? Are you really good with one-on-one connections? Make sure you're carving out time to do that with new members or with existing members that you maybe haven't got to see as often. Make some time to get into the gym at the hours that they're in there so you can make that one-on-one connection. Book a coffee date with them if that's the way you really shine. Don't expect them to come to you and ask for it. If you are more of that like high energy person, make sure you are planning events and getting out there, right? If you're really someone that likes to write, make sure you're getting out there with posts or newsletters or what have you. So I'm kind of curious if you have a lot of similarities, but you're also very different with how you approach that role as owner. And how do you think that kind of that presence and attitude, like where do you guys kind of play it up for each of yourselves, as the owner role versus coaching?
I would say for me, being an owner and then also being an owner and coaching on the floor, we coach probably about 5 classes a week each. It's more than that for us. We're everything to everyone in the gym all the time. And it's a place that we enjoy being. It's something that we are good at doing. But you are on all the time, whether you're there for an hour or 4 hours all day, or you miss a day and you're on the next day. You're on all the time. And I don't say that disparagingly. I love that about our role, our career, and what we've chosen to do. But because of that, I try my part in our relationship, not just the business relationship, but our relationship is I try to make sure that I do my best to schedule time for just us because we're on all the time. You forget, and she forgets. She'll work. I mean, we'll go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. She'll work until 9:29 or 9:59 because she's constantly working to make those connections with people, to plan accordingly, to make sure that everything's set up right. And it's not that I don't, it's just that that's the way she works. I try to find ways that we can turn off and recharge our batteries and recoup. So that way, when we are inside the gym, that way, when we are meeting with new members, that way, when we do host events at the gym or bring a friend week and we have a bunch of new people coming in that aren't members, but we want to give them a good experience, that we can be 100% ourselves throughout that entire time while we're there as representatives of the gym. Because even though we're owners, just like our coaches, we're a part of a leadership team, that we are representatives of this community, not just the movement that we teach, not just the hour-long class that we have, but even more so what we do outside of the walls. And so remembering to take time for ourselves, I think, is really important. And that's something that I try to bring to our relationship.
Yeah, one thing that I like to do so that I could connect with everyone and not feel like I'm always in there, because we coach, like you said, 5 classes each per week. I always set up my workout time at 4:30 and I get there early so that I can see the class before me and I can see and connect to them before my class starts. I'll work out with all of my people and then I'll stay a little bit later until that next class comes so that I can connect to all of my evening classes and see every single one, every single day that I'm in there. I coach a lot of the 10:30s, or I'm in the gym just doing work. And that the only class that I have to really work to see the people is my 5:30
a.m.
And every Friday after the 5:30 a.m. class, everyone goes to coffee. And that has been happening for years now. And so I always make sure that I am at coffee after a class every Friday to connect with those people that are in there. So it's a really fun thing. We actually started doing that during COVID because is the coffee shop that was open that people could go and stayed open, that people could come in and do that. So, and at that point in time, I coached all of the 5:30 classes. So it was just something that we started doing at that point in time, and it just stepped or kept going. Is that Friday's a coffee, like you just go. And now people that don't go to 5:30 still show up, and just, it's what we do. We take over the coffee shop and this is what we do. And so it's a good way to connect to people, and it doesn't just connect us there with them, but it's a different outside of the gym for our whole crew to connect and just chill and talk about whatever the workout they just did or what they have going on in work or life. So it really helps to keep all of us together, those connections inside the gym also outside of the gym.
Mhm.
That's great. It's a really good idea. I like that a lot.
We show up Friday morning, a half hour after this coffee shop opens, with like 20 to 30 people. And it's like this big long line. And the baristas are 3, 2, 1, go. And they start taking orders and making coffee. And it's amazing.
By
They
now,
say
they
it's
probably know a lot of your orders.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ren just commented that they started doing a workout and then pizza port. By the way, Ren, I've lived in San Diego for a long time, so I love some pizza port. And that she got the idea from Kapua, who I don't think is on the call, but that's awesome. Wad and pizza port. I would be totally down for that. But yeah, it's like, you might have to get creative. It might not always look like a party, right? It might have to be a regular coffee and or going to that time that you're never in the gym or you don't want to work out, or, you know, for me, I would be way more inclined to do a workout earlier and meet all and hang out with those people. And it's the end of the day ones where I'm just like, I don't want to stay and hang out with all of you later in the day. You know, I'm done. I want to wind down. I want to be at home. So noticing those things about yourself, if you are the owner, the one owner, like find a way, find a schedule, start small. Don't try to get to every hour the first week that you're deciding to make this change. If there are multiple owners, like you guys can kind of divide and conquer sometimes. But yeah, Amanda was saying 6 a.m. does breakfast on Wednesdays during the summer. Oh, that's great. And holidays when they don't have to go to work. I love that. Yeah, and you'll see the natural little groups and meetups that happen within your gym. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to invite myself, or I don't want to crash their thing. But a lot of times it's more than welcomed if the owner wanted to be a part of those things. So,
Well, and a little bit on that, Katie, is I mean, in the beginning, when we would see our members go off and do things
yeah,
and one, not invite us,
right.
or just do in the begin. I mean, you have that little piece of FOMO and you're like, well, how come I wasn't invited? I'm the reason why you guys all know each other. But at the same time, it's when you create a community and you create connections with all different walks of life and different times, that we're a melting pot, just like all your affiliates are. You want that connection to be made outside of the gym. You want people to have opportunities to go meet with each other. And honestly, I like seeing when people get together and we're not there, because that means I don't have to pick up after them. I don't have to clean up when they're all done doing it. I don't have to sit around for 3 hours vacuuming the floor while she's cleaning the bathrooms at 10 o'clock at night. You know, it can be a little bit of, well, I'd like to go to that thing, but it can also be, it's awesome that we've created a community where it wants to connect outside of what we do.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That to me shows that there's like roots. Your community has roots. They're not just kind of in it for the workout, and then maybe they'll politely stop by the Christmas party, but you know, they're really dug in. So what were we gonna say, Chausse?
I was just gonna say, I think it's super neat to see. I love to see my people get together, whether we are there or not. I love that they are creating these groups of them to support each other. However, if it's just hanging out, but they have these connections. And it hasn't, at least at our gym, we haven't seen it to be like these
a problem
click, you know, like anything like that, or like, well, they didn't invite us or anything like that. It's been just a cool thing for them to support each other and build each other up. And I like seeing it. I'm like, this is just a cool thing. Like, where would they have met these people and have this connection and have this friendship if they weren't at the gym? Like, it's just neat to see, And I love sitting back, especially if I'm there. I love sitting back and just like not talking to anybody, just watching them all do their thing. And it's just a really, it's heartwarming for me. Like, I just love it. I think it's a cool thing that it happens. And it became because of our place.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, we all talk about CrossFit affiliates are different because typically we say, yes, methodology, of course, but we also know that there's a lot of people that are sort of pawning that and making their own version of it, and they may not be an affiliate, right? So a lot of people have figured out that high intensity functional fitness is a thumbs up. So we're seeing that in other areas, but what do we always say about CrossFit affiliates is the community, right? But that really does start with the owners and how they make connections. Because if there is, I've watched it, I've worked in the gym, and this isn't meant to throw anyone under the bus, but I've worked in the gym where the owner is not making the connections. I've talked about this on a different call as well, so I don't want to repeat myself. And their community didn't happen, no matter how hard I worked as manager, and no matter how hard the coaches were great, and they worked so hard, and we would meet about it, like, what can we do? But the owner was not present, and there were reasons for it. They weren't just a jerk, but the owner was not present, and it had a trickle down effect. I think there's a way to still do it. At the gym I'm talking about, it didn't happen, but you guys really set the tone. The affiliate owners set the tone for what that means. And so something I'm curious about is, what do you do from the get-go? So in that regard, let's say a new member, but maybe that doesn't have to necessarily mean they've never done CrossFit, but they're new to your building, they're new to your space. What do you guys do from the get-go that sets you apart from just any gym that has this, HIIT training, or, we have, great personal trainers with all these things, and they're going to get you your fit body and reach your goals? How do we compete with that? What do you guys do from the get-go that's going to set you apart?
Well, I would say, first off, we don't necessarily compete with other gyms, and it's not because we don't care or we're not trying to create a good, sound, solid business for ourselves. We aren't necessarily concerned with what anybody else does. We are very highly concerned with what we do. And so what we choose to do when we had 6 people join last week. So we had 6 new members last week. Every single one of them, we take the time to, and I should say Chausse takes the time. She's our #1 sales person. She's phenomenal. Katie, if you walked into the gym and sat down and did a tour, you would end up signing up before you left, even though you live in California.
I live in Northern California, and I'd still sign
Yeah,
up.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because
You'll
I
find
want
a
her
way
to be my
get
friend.
Yeah. But what we do is we give them personal attention. Chausse gives them personal attention right from the get-go, right from when they send the
Like
lead,
a meeting
the consult request. We get leads from our website, we get leads from Google, we get it for CrossFit, however they send it in, they get immediate personal attention. They set that tour, they get immediate personal attention with her then and there. When they sign up, then they get immediately dumped into their new best friend group on our Facebook private page. They get inundated with meme after meme from all of our members that are there when we post their welcome picture. They get immediately partnered up with an ambassador during the class, their first class that they come to. So they have a battle buddy that's going to help them figure out and remember where they go, where all the equipment is. Yes, the coach is there, but this is just a little bit more of a connection touch piece.
It helps them get more into the community other than just the coach or me.
Yeah.
That they have now someone inside the community, and the community or the ambassador puts them with other people, introduce them to other members and stuff like that, so that they feel like they're part of the crew, not just the one little person over here standing and I don't know anybody here or what's going on. It pulls them into that and starts doing that. And I think that's a huge thing. That really helps.
Yeah. And we also announce new members and visitors and drop-ins before every class. So even if for some reason we don't have an ambassador at that class, that new person who, just like every other new person in all of our gyms, sets up in the very back dark corner thinking they're going to be hidden, but they're also at the same time the one everyone's zeroes in on. We make sure to bring them into the circle to their comfort, their relative comfort, but make sure that they're welcome and part of the class moving forward for that day. I think those personal connections are I know that those personal connections are what we do really well. And I know that everybody on this call probably does something similar. And we just don't necessarily, we're not concerned with competition. We don't necessarily see it as competition. We have members that come and talk to us about joining 24-hour fitness or Gold's Gym or something like that, because one, we don't have showers, we don't have a pool, we don't have a sauna, and we encourage it. Hey, you want to go do and get your recovery stuff in? You want to go get some laps in the pool? It's only going to help and prolong your time inside Grit with us during your functional fitness training. We don't really see it as a competition.
No, not at all. I try to really connect with all of the people. Like if I wasn't in that first class that they came to, I'm going to be texting them and being like, hey, how was your first class? How did things go? And all of that type of stuff. But I really, like, even the other night, we weren't at a class, and I had one of our members, hey, like, this member first got their first toes to bar. So they let me know, and I'm texting her and like, congratulations, just little things like that. So people feel like, whether if I wasn't in the class or not, that we care about
and
whatever
we
it is.
Still know what's going on.
We know what's going on at the gym, regardless of whatever we have our little minions that will let us know what's going on around the gym. But I really try to connect, and sometimes I have to write a list and a reminder in my calendar, like check in with this person, check in with this person, check in with this person. Because especially if they haven't been in the gym, or they have an injury or something going on and they haven't been in or not with the community, you kind of can feel isolated with that. So I want them to know that I care about them. And it can take it can be tiring because that is emotional support that you're giving to them, and that you're trying to do that with so many people. But I feel like it's just so important for them to feel like that I care whether they are not there. Even if it's just me sending them, maybe they're on hold and I haven't seen them for a little bit. I'm always contacting them and being like, hey, how are things going? Whether it's a medical treatment or something like that, how's this treatment going? How can I help? How can I support you? That they are getting that just for me. I think it says a lot about the owner being really in the community and with our members, that I care about them, not just our members reaching out, but that I care.
It really does make a difference. I think the affiliates that I talk to that are having the most success, that is the standout piece. And this is meant to not be a dig at anyone. Everyone's going through a lot in their lives. Everyone's multidimensional. You can't always be everywhere and everything for everyone. So it's understandable that there are a lot of times that you need to outsource. You need to have coaches help cover classes. You need to assign people to do certain parts of the job. But I absolutely still agree with that statement that when the owner is the one reaching out and calling, it does make a difference. And so be patient with yourself. If that's not something you can do right now, you have the bandwidth that you have. And it's certainly not all one thing. Like if you're not doing that, your gym sucks and is going to fail. It's not meant to be that extreme, but it can be something that you set as a goal, and you can take steps, I think, in the direction of, if you just don't have it now, can you get someone to start checking in with some of that list, and you can take some of the list, and over time, as things change and evolve, you can take on more. Can I ask how many members you guys have, just so for perspective for anyone that's kind of thinking about it, wrapping their head around it with their gym?
We're about 160, 170.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we're at like 172 after last week.
Yeah, I haven't checked. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't check in with every single person, but that's why during the week, I set up my workout time so that I can see. I have 3 classes now that I can connect with every single one of those members, because of where I decide to work out, so that I can do that. That's where maybe I would rather work out in the morning, but it's more important to me to see all of my people. I see everyone in the evening every single day, because I choose to work out at that time. And then they see me and they're doing the thing that I'm telling them to do. So that's a really easy way for me to check mark seeing people, is setting up my workout time in a class around 2 other classes so that I can see everyone, and do that. So it's an easy way to check in with everyone and them to feel like, all right, they do care, and have a little connection with each one of them. I think and Randy does the same thing. That's the same class that he works out at as well, so that he can see everyone. And then it's either him and I that coach the 10:30. So we see all of our members every single day.
That's awesome. I always have more questions, but I'm going to kind of pause here. Does anyone want to ask anything of Chausse or Randy? Some people have to take off. We still got time though. But if there was something you wanted either more context into, or, something you heard them say, you would like to dig into or have them elaborate on, I want to kind of open up the floor if anyone has anything.
I'll say also, Katie, that we have certain milestones where we check in with new members too, from the moment that they sign up from their first class. And then Chausse has it set up with certain SOPs and workflows that during, the first
180.
Yeah, 180 days is inside that, different milestones that we check in with, different little pieces that we give that member. And so in the beginning, it's connections. After a month, they get the card? 45 days, they get a card with a gift card for $5 to the coffee shop that we go to. We do a lot. We do a lot of that stuff, and we do try to share the wealth around the small business parts of our community. So, and then we connect with them for that 180 days. And then after that, any of those other connections that we need to do, we just follow up as they come up with each individual member.
Very cool. Allison's hopping off. Something I was thinking, did you have a question, Kelly? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, Chausse. So when you reach out to your members, do you do it through your CRM? Do you do it through your cell phone? Because I have some, you do. So you get, okay. I find that to be a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. I'm sorry.
I just find that to be a little bit more personable, and I like to do that too. But I'm just not sure, because I like push press where I can keep track of everything. But I also have it in my phone. I just feel like it's a little more personable. So just curious.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do the same thing. And I know some people don't like to have their members have all of their cell phone numbers, but I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. That's kind of how I start with them, is just me personally with my personal phone, text them. They do also get, other from Wodify with my workflows. They'll get emails and they'll get text from the business as well from there, but they'll know the difference when I personally text them in there as well. So I have those checkpoints too as well. But I like using my phone. It's nice. Easy. It's easy. So that's usually what I use for most things. And then I'll put whatever I connect with them or text them. I put everything in Trello or in Wodify on their notes. If you have Wodify, then sometimes I do both. But at least that I'm keeping track of like our conversation of what I had, especially if there's something major going on in their life that I need to keep and remind myself on. And then I'll set me a date on Trello on their card to check back if it's something I need to check back with them. And then I will have that reminders for myself as well on Trello.
On Trello. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Use personal until a few members went above and beyond. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. I've had more than one. Thanks, Paana. I've had more than one owner tell me, she had to get she called it like her burner phone, because she couldn't, and she had a habit of really, needing to unplug on the weekends and be with her family. And it was not happening because they were like Sunday night texts and all this stuff. And so then she had her personal phone and then her work personal phone. So I totally understand that. I definitely think, You got to do what's smart and safe and, for your boundaries and things like that. I relate it to this job. I kind of think of all of you guys as my members and I often all my calls are from my personal phone. I often text a lot of owners. And when I have a call with them, I'll say, now you have my number, you can send me a note. And most people being in the business, they understand boundaries and things like that. And I don't take it personal because I know this stuff is on your mind all the time. But I've definitely gotten like the Sunday night texts. I got a couple of Christmas Eve. They weren't like, Merry Christmas. They were like, can you check on the attendance for this, what do they have, like a seminar coming up in a month? And I'm like, bro, it's Christmas Eve. Chill out. We'll get to it. But so yeah, I see that there sometimes the boundaries get crossed and you might need to separate. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Like it's nice to have that connection. And I feel like it plays to your advantage. It makes them feel like you're there for them. It makes them feel like they can reach out if they need you. So one thing I was going to say, this is the business of making connections. I'm going to kind of call out my weak area, what I am insecure about. Why does it feel so hard to ask for what you're worth? Because I love my members in my little garage gym. We had a class this morning of 5. I usually max it out at 5 because of very small space. 5 ladies. I would go on vacation with any one of them. Like I consider them like friends, but they're clients first, but they feel like friends. It is so hard to not just want to be like, oh, and charge less than I know that I'm worth as a trainer and that the value I'm providing. Have you guys ever run into that struggle where, I don't know, just so, it feels tricky for me. It always has been. And maybe that's just me, but
no, you're right. It is tricky. It is hard. And it's the part of owning and operating your own business that feels sticky, is asking for money. Right. But you nailed it on the head when you first said that you ask for what you're worth. What we're offering and what we're selling and what we're providing to people is, again, for us, our slogan, lifelong fitness. That is our goal with everybody that walks into our gym, is to keep them moving long into their 90s, long into their golden years. That's worth something. On continuing to educate yourself, continuing to grow as a coach, continuing to grow as owners and as leaders, continuing to invest in yourself takes time, it takes money. But while continuing to do that with the focus of allowing our members to benefit from that work that we put into our business, it makes it easier to ask for market rate values with regards to membership prices. Because we know that what we're offering and what we're doing is it's a top tier product. And we know that in order to keep our business open and keep the lights on and to keep everybody happy and moving and progressing forward, we need to charge as if it was a top tier product, because it is. I think, again, we're a people business, and understanding that moving forward with still being a business first and relationship second, even though that feels, again, sticky, gross to say it that way, it's important to realize that, because we need to do what we can to keep the gym open, to continue to service as many people as we can for the next 10, 20 years. If we undervalue or undercharge ourselves, we're not going to be able to keep the model moving forward.
I will say for myself that especially at the beginning and actually for a long time, it was a really, really, really hard for me to do that, because I had friends, and my friends now are my coaches, my members, and that is affiliate owners. Like a lot of people on here those are my friends. These are the people that I hang out with. That's what I choose to do. But I love that. It doesn't make me feel bad that I don't have other friends to do other things. Like
your friend.
Randy's my friend, and sometimes makes me sad. No, just kidding. No, like I love that. That's who the people that I am surrounded on. I'm surrounded around people that have the same things that I love to do and what I believe in. And it doesn't make me feel bad, or if it's too much that it's the same thing all the time, that I see them all the time. I actually love it. But for a long time, like that was a really hard time, because then they would ask for the discount. they would be asking like, and that makes you kind of feel like a little icky, like, really? Like, really? Like, yeah, we're friends, but this is also my business as well. Like, and it took me a long time to get over that. I think it actually took after we had to get business mentors. So we had Best Hour, the ones that really helped me to get over that hump of me feeling like that. To know like, no, what I do, like, this is what you should be paying. It's worth what I am giving you. It's worth it. And you get a perk that we are friends. On top of that, on everything else, that we get to hang out as well as you can support me and my business.
Free.
Yeah. So, I mean,
no extra.
So it took me a long time to get over that.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'm better at now.
She's not better at, she's exceptional at it.
You said she's the best salesperson, and I believe it. But I also, what I love about it is that I would, and you said, I'd sign up for a membership living in a different state. And I bet I would, because of your sincerity. Like, you would be saying things honestly, truthfully, not just about your product, but about how much you want me to succeed. And you'd be like, oh, Katie, you're in town enough. Like, we'll make it work. Like, you would find a way to be like,
figure it out.
And the flights are cheap, whatever. Like, so Teddy was commenting
but
that.
I also back that up.
Yeah.
You have to, when you sign something up and you like are telling that you have to follow through with that stuff. You have to back up what you tell them, not just say at that meeting and then sign up. And then they're like, you never checked in on me. Like, you didn't do this. Like, you have to do those things or have someone to be doing it, or at least be checking with them every once in a while so that they feel like that you are sincere. You have to be doing that part, doing that. And I think that that's something that we've done well with that as well.
Teddy was commenting about price increases and that the members were always like, they're down for it. They never question it. Were you on the price increase call too, Teddy? I can't remember.
I wasn't, but I'm part of Best Hour, so it's the thing. It's
the thing. We I'm gonna put up I just put up the recording, and I'm gonna like send out a little note about it. But yeah, we did a call about like, if you don't regularly increase your prices, unless you have them at like the top market tier already, like that you're missing out. And not just because it's all about money, but because you're undervaluing yourself as an owner, your trainers, your facility, the entire product. And so every time I do a rate increase in my garage, there's not a ton of upgrades that have happened. I haven't added more space or more class times. I've sometimes added more equipment, but I'm talking like some more ab mats. Like, we're not, I'm not building out a new rig or anything. It's so often I've done it because it's been necessary. And no one has batted an eye at it. And I even still have a client that refuses to pay me what I ask and still pays me $50 more. She's just like, you're wrong. You're undervalued. It's $300 a month. And I was like, it's not $300 a month for training. And she disagrees. But so like, I completely agree with you, Teddy, but I am of that insecure feeling of like, I'm all about the connections. I'm so bad at asking for the value. So thank you guys for touching on that, for saying that.
It also is, keep in mind, like, we think it's sticky and gross to ask them, and it's a weird feeling, but all of us know that everything is always going up. So deep down, even if somebody's asking for more money, your Netflix just went up, so they're asking for more money. The gas prices just went up, they're asking for more money. So it's not like we feel like it's personal, but everybody knows that things are going up. So it's inevitable, so I feel like people are more understanding when you just ask for a little bit more.
And like you said, they want you to be there.
Right.
They want the gym to be there. They want that facility to exist. So.
Teddy, where are you at?
California, in between Yosemite and Tahoe. So
nice.
Yeah, close to Sacramento-ish.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be respectful of everyone's time, but if you guys, Randy, Chausse, if you guys had anything else you wanted to kind of add or touch on, I'll take it. If anyone has to hop, I'm going to keep the recording going.
I was going to say, we're trying to figure out, so we had a competition that we host every year and we decided not to do it anymore. And it was the weekend before the affiliate summit. So we're checking our schedule to try to come down and join you down in San Diego and seeing everybody down there again. We loved when we went the very first affiliate summit. Fantastic. It was amazing. So we want to keep going to those. But then also I'm going to put something in the chat. So Best Hour and HSN are going to be at the affiliate summit, like Katie said. Friday, they're having a lunch and learn. And so they wanted to know if I could post that link to sign up for that lunch and learn during, I think it's like 12:30.
Yeah,
on
I
Friday.
threw that in my last newsletter and I'm going to throw it up again. You know what I might do is I might put it in my profile link tree for in the West Coast too. Also, Jen said she's going to just have one link for this call and it's just going to stay the same Zoom link or something so that once you guys sign up, you'll always have it or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be fantastic.
I'll throw this link in my profile and then I can also repost it and have people jump on it for the lunch and learn.
Was Pleasanton the first summit?
Yes.
It was.
Since kind of the new iteration of having us reps on the squad. There used to be little small meetups that I think they called summits that were run by the ambassadors. But yeah, summit.
We did one in at Cody's at CrossFit Advantage with before you were on it because it was Jordan
running it. Yeah. Yep. So they would do those and Jordan would try to get to different ones that the ambassadors in those areas would. I don't think there was an ambassador up there because he was up there, but in Southern California, Riverside area, there was an ambassador. And so they would run one down in SoCal, one up there. So yeah, the Pleasanton one last January was the first of its kind of what it is now. And then it's evolved over that year. And then this year it's sort of transformed as well. And so, yeah, I'm excited.
I would say if you're on the fence of whether or not to go. We met so many awesome people. We had a lot of networking and a lot of relationship building that we still have now. And so
I also think that kind of helps to have that network to talk to each other, especially because it is heavy with your members. It's almost like you're a counselor sometimes, and it can be
and a therapist,
and a therapist and pastor, all the things all in one. And it can be really, really heavy. And so to be able to have a network of affiliate owners that you're close with to just kind of talk through that, it's been very helpful for us and me specifically being able to do that because it gets heavy and it is hard and it's exhausting to be that person and being on all the time. But I also love it as well. I love both sides, but to be able to have that time to talk to those people that understand that as well. And it's cool. It's neat to have. I think it's an important thing of being an affiliate owner is having a group of people that understands what you're going through and talk to them.
Totally.
We do it daily, actually. We have a text stream that we talk to them daily. And
that's what I want to create within the West Coast, whether it's the Facebook group or people coming onto these calls and making connections. And then, we do a monthly female owners call and just all these different ways. If you can pop on, hear someone, and you can always send them a message or you can message the rep that's running the call and be like, can I get Teddy's email or, what gym was she in? And then send them that info. I've never once heard an affiliate owner coming back to me and being like, how dare you share my info with another owner? It's like, most of us, our emails are already public knowledge on our websites anyway. So, and it's always great to have that connection. And, if they're not in your area, you can call each other and do a virtual coffee. And I do think, we talked this whole call long about making connections with your members. Don't sleep on that idea of making connections with other affiliate owners. The summit is, I agree, the best place to do it. Second best would be something like this where you can see them even if you're not in the room with them. And then, least would be, via something like a Facebook group where over time you just start seeing someone sharing a lot of knowledge and you're like, wow, maybe I should reach out to this person and do a call. But no more feeling like you're having to survive it on your own, right?
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate so much everyone that came on the call. Chausse, Randy, I appreciate you guys taking the time to chat with us and share your wisdom. Thank you, everyone. And we'll be doing another one in September with a new topic and some new guests. Have a good
Heck
one,
yeah.
guys.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.